Hello guys, great to see the awkward silence has been finally broken. My name is Owen Hand and I am the TCD SU president. And so basically the SU is the students' union and we've got 5 different sabbatical officers. There's myself, president, head of campaigns and face of the union. We've got an education officer who takes care of an entertainment officer who takes care of scheduling nights out, and well, not this year, but scheduling different types of events throughout the year just for your enjoyment and that kind of stuff, to socialise and make friends. And we have a communication and marketing officer as well, who gets in companies and who gets deals for students and gets you money off all the different nice things you want to buy throughout the year. So that's just a little bit about the actual SU itself. We also have social media as well. We've got Facebook. We're very cool. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we have a website as well, www.tcdsu.org, and you'll find out loads of information about the SU there. And also we have class recollections. So I understand all of you are first years. If any of you are budding and want to join up with the union, go for class recollections. They're open now and they'll be going on for another while, and it's a great way to really engage with the union and to engage with college life. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, Owen. Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Mccabe, and I'm the Dean of Students. I welcome you to Trinity and congratulate you. Trinity is a wonderful place to study. It is an exciting and invigorating community. And although these first few weeks are a little strange, you know, they're not like due to public health guidelines, you will eventually all meet together as usual. And even if it's online or whether it's face to face, you know, just look around you and, you know, you'll meet people from every county in Ireland and from 122 countries around the world. So it's going to be very exciting. You will meet people who will become your professional colleagues maybe in the future. You might meet somebody, in fact, you might have already met them, who's going to be the next Taoiseach. Or perhaps, and most importantly, you'll just meet lifelong friends. Trinity recognises that achievement of your goals and intellectual development is not just about students and academics. Your development is strongly linked to how you thrive here, and that's socially, physically, mentally, and of course academically as well. But there are over 1,700 staff looking after this campus, and they provide about 160 student services. And they're immensely proud of this university and what they do. And they all work really well together in the background to make sure that you have a good student experience. For example, if you look around campuses, and if you look carefully around college, you'll see the B hotels, and there are quite a few around. And if you look carefully, you might also see the resident fox. We also have Martina Mullins, and Martina works really hard at kind of developing ideas, you know, and programs for staff and students in relation to healthy mind and healthy body, and takes a very holistic approach to that. Also, we have sustainability and green campus projects that you might be interested in. Michelle Hallen is the college advisor on sustainability, and she works with facilities, and they do numerous projects around sustainability. For example, increasing renewable energy generation by 2% per year, reaching a target of 50% recycling, and ensuring zero waste to landfill. And that's just a few of the projects. There's numerous going on. Each one of you has enormous potential. You want to do well, and that's why you chose Trinity. And we recognise that a lot of that won't happen just in the classroom. And it's my role as Dean of Students to make sure that all the other stuff that's co-curricular and extracurricular activities are as much part of your student experience and development as the classroom. And we want you to do things that you haven't done before. You know, kind of push the boundaries a little bit. Might make you a little bit anxious, you're not too sure if you should do it, but you know it'll be worth it in the end. You'll be glad you did. Take the opportunities that college offers. Join all the clubs and societies. And I know most of you probably have done this already, but it's a great way to meet people socially, because it's not always easy to do that. But, you know, there's sports clubs, societies, and volunteer and contribute to society as well. There's study abroad through exchange programs, and also take up internships. So there's quite a lot of opportunities for you over the next few years. We expect you to be ambitious for yourselves. You will have your own individual journey in Trinity. Use it, and use us as a springboard to your career, your personal and professional development, and also to contribute to society in the future. This is the university that you have chosen. Great choice, well done. And you've worked really hard to get here, so enjoy it. Your journey will unfold over the next few years, but whatever happens, Trinity wants you to learn loads, and is a Provost, Patrick Prendergast. He himself is a graduate of Trinity, engineering as it happens. After time in Italy and the Netherlands, he returned as a lecturer and has since been Professor of Bioengineering Dean of Graduate Studies and Vice Provost. His connections to Trinity as a student and academic have made him a huge advocate of your student experience. So with that, I would like to welcome him now to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Dean of Students. It's wonderful to see you all here. Congratulations on your achievement. This year, the CAO points were decided on the basis of overall school performance. And in your time in school, you proved your enthusiasm for learning, your discipline, your aptitude for hard work, your intelligence, resilience, and talent. And that's why you're here today. We're honoured and delighted that you've chosen to come to Trinity College, and we pledge your talents and abilities. May I say what a pleasure it is to see you here today. Like many universities around the world, we closed our campus in March when education and research moved online. I live in the college. I live here in the Provost house, which is just behind us here. I live there with my family. And it was a remarkable experience to be here for 6 months without the physical presence of students or professors or visitors on the campus. At times, the peace and calm was to be cherished, but it's wonderful to have college back with teaching and research happening on the campus, even if it is curtailed by the level 3 restrictions. Every year, new incoming students revitalise this university. By tradition, we refer to our first years as junior fresh students, and you do indeed bring a freshness to the college. And this has never been more that whatever happens, whatever fate throws in our way, the cycle of learning and education continues and will replenish itself. Something that will not acknowledge conclusion insists that we forever begin. Those words were written by the poet Brendan Kennelly, who was for many years a professor here. And I propose that we take these words as our college motto, and do so because they resonate so well with what we have today. Something that will not acknowledge conclusion insists that we forever begin. A special welcome to you for those who have come from abroad. In a period when global travel has been so compromised, it's wonderful to have you here with us today. I know that many of you had to quarantine. Thank you for making the effort. This is the start of a new college year like no other. As we continue to navigate this pandemic and comply with regulations, your experience will be unique in the history of junior fresh students in this college. But in another sense, your experience of starting college is timeless. Yes, the way we will deliver learning has changed greatly this year, but the goal of that learning remains the same: to nurture your talents and sense of responsibility. And like thousands and thousands of Trinity students before you, you are at the start of a life-changing experience. What will it be like? I remember very well my own first week in Trinity, so I have a fair idea how you're feeling. A combination of nerves and excitement, enthusiasm, and just a bit of trepidation. I guess it's because Trinity is such a remarkable place, a challenging place, that we feel this trepidation. We want to live up to it. I do as Provost, and you do as our newest students. I came here as an undergraduate in 1983. How proud they were of me And I'll never forget how I felt when I first walked through Front Arch, out into the wide expanse of Front Square. I know the front gate is closed now, so you can't do this, but it will be open again. You will have this experience of walking from the darkness, really, or the dimness of the Front Arch out into Front Square. The dynamism of the place, the energy of the place. And I've never lost my initial excitement about Trinity. That's why I did my PhD here and later returned as a lecturer. And why I felt so honoured to be elected Provost by staff and student representatives to lead this university in 2011. I want all of you to have as good an experience as I had. And when I give advice, I'm speaking as a former Trinity student, as a lecturer who spent many years teaching undergraduates, and as head of a university that wants you to realise your potential for your own sake, but also for Trinity's sake. You're now entering an exciting phase of your education. The emphasis now is on cultivating independence of mind. It's no longer about what you can remember, but what you can discover for yourself. It's not about regurgitating what lecturers say. It's about your own interpretation. The curriculum is designed to make you think. A Trinity education is designed to make you think. And so long as you attend your lectures and seminars, use the library, complete your essays, do your coursework, do your lab work, speak up in tutorials and defend your views, so long as you're doing all this, you will get into the habit of discovery. Some time ago, a couple of years ago, we decided we were going to come up with four graduate attributes we wanted our students to have when they leave the university. Now, 4 of these, let's see if I can remember them without looking down. First, to think independently. Second, to communicate effectively. Third, to grow continuously. And fourth, to act responsibly. With independence of mind, able to express yourself clearly and vividly in writing, speech, and online. If you're capable of adapting to change and imbued with a love of learning, this is a great phrase, a love of learning, because if you have that, you'll be motivated to continue learning throughout your life. And if you understand your responsibilities to your fellow human beings and to the natural world, and ready to take up leadership roles, then you'll have the right mindset for a successful life and career. And you'll be ready for active and responsible citizenship, working towards the creation and maintenance of a pluralistic, just, and sustainable society. This is what we seek for you. This is what your education aims to deliver. We recently developed a curriculum to incorporate diverse styles of assessment, moving away from exams towards other means of appraisal. And we've created more opportunity for you to take learning outside your own core discipline. Now, the core discipline is extremely important. That's where, by the time you're finished in Trinity, you'll have seen the frontiers of your discipline in terms of research. But this is still core to Trinity's mission. But you will have, in addition, the opportunity to learn about disciplines outside your core discipline. Do be adventurous and brave about choosing modules that put you outside your comfort zone. How is the curriculum going to be delivered during COVID? Well, it will be a mix of online and in-person. All large lectures will be online, of enabling flexibility and closer engagement between people. Seminars will be online and live streamed. But our University Council made a vow, in a way. We said at the last meeting of the last academic year that we would do our very best to ensure some in-person teaching for every student. And had it not been for the move to level 3, we would have been able to ensure that engagement. And indeed, for some elements of the curriculum, like laboratories or field work or whatever, it's absolutely essential. So as long as regulations permit it, all students will attend some classes in college. Your timetable will tell you when to come in. And we're going to provide spaces, student breakout spaces as well, where you can take online lectures if necessary. We're confident that we can deliver all coursework through a blend of online and in-person. But for us to succeed in doing this, you need to work with us. There are many supports available to you. Your tutor is a key person, and we have here today Dr. Aidan Seary, the senior tutor, who has ensured each one of you is assigned a tutor. You can talk to your tutor about all matters, all issues, personal and course related, and also there are available to you counsellors, and student counselling is an important service that we provide. This comes under the remit of the Director of Student Services, Breda Walls, who's also here. Now, when it comes to the education itself, extracurricular activities are important. Some years ago we did a survey of employers, and they didn't come back telling us that they wanted such and such a thing taught in the academic curriculum. They value greatly what students learn outside the formal curriculum. Extracurricular activities they found were very important learning opportunities, and I would encourage you to see this in the broadest sense of the importance of extracurricular activities. Get involved in clubs and societies. Write for college journals. There are several college newspapers. You can write in them. Write nice things about the Provost, though, please. There are also college literary journals. Icarus is probably the most established, but there are many others. Some of the best and most famous writers in Ireland began writing for student literary journals like Icarus. Volunteering and fundraising, debating, organising events, all the myriad of sporting activities. Even indeed, we have opportunities for students to start their own businesses and support them in doing that. This term, extra have moved online. Clubs and societies have been very inventive about this, making use of different technologies to engage their members with virtual webinars and events. And Freshers' Week is traditionally a week when Front Square is full of stalls with students hawking membership of their various clubs and societies. That's not happening this year, but as you'll see, there are posters up around the campus. So log on to the clubs and society pages on the college webpage. You can join and get an idea of their, follow your interests wherever they're in. There's almost everything is catered for, from jazz to chess to ultimate frisbee to all manner of other societies. And if you don't find one that's in your area, you can start a new club and society. Unfortunately, all parties and socializing on a campus is currently forbidden. And you will experience these. You will have the parties like they had in normal people, but you won't have them in the coming months. So if we're going to succeed in maintaining activities, teaching activities, we do have to trust you and to take responsibility and to work with us and the wider Irish society to keep the campus safe. I know how hard this is. I was an undergraduate here as well. I know how disappointed you will be to forego many activities. Not to mention socializing in parties and pubs and debates, and these are all good things in their right place and the right time, but not at the moment, not when we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're sorry that it has to be this way, but we have faith in your resourcefulness and creativity, and the clubs and societies have been inventive and have kept many activities going online and in person in a socially distanced way. Another thing that we do here, which is very interesting, is every year we have an event called Launchbox. Launchbox is an accelerator program. Students who start with an idea as undergraduates can, through Launchbox, develop these into successful companies. In the last 7 years, Launchbox has supported Launchbox. Previous startups that have been in Launchbox have gone on to raise over 69 million euro in funding and investment and created over 200 jobs in the Irish economy. One of the most interesting events on the campus every year are the pitches that people make with their teams in Launchbox. Over 70 teams vie for a place on the Launchbox program. And when college locked down last March, Launchbox teams were able to work together in person, but they made the transition smoothly to online. I'm proud of the creativity and resilience students show. None of us actually welcomes adversity, but through our response to that adversity, we can grow and develop as human beings. You're now a member of the Trinity College community. It's a community of 17,000 students and 3,000 staff. And, wait for this number, 110,000 alumni in 110 countries worldwide. Membership of the Trinity community is lifelong. What's made Trinity great over more than 4 centuries is the people that have studied and worked here, and the radical and creative ways in which they have contributed to world thought. We take huge pride in the achievement of our graduates. From some of the early graduates, like Jonathan Swift, you'll have heard of him, and his portrait is here. My eyesight's not good enough to read these at a distance, but I think it's that one there. Jonathan Swift, author of Gulliver's Travels, and indeed a great satirist, invented the idea of satire in many ways, and used it to great effect in his contribution to Irish and British life at the time. Wolfe Tone, another Trinity graduate. There's one bust of Wolfe Tone in this college. Most people don't believe me, but there is. Maybe after 4 years you'll figure out where it is. The mathematician William Rowan Hamilton, youngest ever Taoiseach, is a Trinity graduate, and many successful Irish politicians, including Mary Lou MacDonald, also a Trinity graduate. Sally Rooney, the author of Normal People, is a Trinity graduate, and many of you will have watched that, of course, during lockdown. It was great fun, represents Trinity College in a very positive light, I suppose. Paul Mescal, the star of Normal People, is also a Trinity graduate. And indeed one of the directors, Lenny Abrahamson, is a Trinity graduate. And if you go into the dining hall across Front Square, there's a frieze up there underneath the ceiling, a frieze that lists the great benefactors of this university since its foundation in 1592. In fact, the only portrait in this hall of a woman is a portrait of the founder of this university. So that's there in the middle. What does it say? Queen Elizabeth, probably, is it? On something in Latin, which as an engineer I don't understand, but it's okay. Queen Elizabeth founded this university. She didn't give any money though, but she wrote the instrument to create the University of Dublin Trinity College. Most of the initial money to establish the university came from Dublin Corporation. They granted the lands that we're on here today, and these lands were originally outside the city wall on the monastery of All Hallows. And that monastery had been closed when the English monarch at the time, Henry VIII, closed the monasteries, and the land was unused for many years before it was granted for the foundation of a university. Many of the merchants of Dublin, and indeed some of the old Celtic lords from the north of Ireland, like the O'Neills, gave the initial endowment to found the university. Many of our alumni feel a lifelong connection to Trinity, and they seek to support its continuing greatness. And I hope that you too will feel a connection with this university, and that Trinity will be for you a source of strength as you forge your careers in the outside world. With your intelligence, your drive, your ability, you have the opportunity to make a mark in the world in wonderful and unexpected ways. That opportunity will help you fulfill your potential. If I had just one piece of advice at this stage, it is to keep your horizons open. Now is not a time to close down or narrow your options. Use your precious few college years to develop and expand who you are. Your time in Trinity will transform how you view the world and how you view yourselves. I wish you 4 life-transforming college years. I look forward to keeping in touch with you throughout your time here and in the years ahead. Thank you very much. Oh. Can ask me questions? Don't often get the chance. Go on. Well, am I supposed to tell you? Well, okay, well, I'll give the secret away then. Does anyone know? I'm shooting down. It's in the old library. But actually, it's not. Most of the busts in the old library have the name underneath, and his doesn't. So there is some controversy as to whether it's actually wolf tone. But best bets are that it is. It's the last one. If you go up onto the long room and you look down to the far end of it, in there, last one on the left. Please. Irish what? Classes in the Irish language. Well, there are plenty of places around the city. In Trinity specifically, well, that sounds like a question for the Dean of Students, since I don't know the answer.
And we're opening that this year as well, so we'll be in a controlled level classes from that. If you see me afterwards, I'll give you. You're welcome.
This man here. Fix the which? Ah, the swimming pool. Oh, that's definitely the Director of Student Services.
We expect the swimming pool to be open 2 weeks' time. It's not possible that hold does go up. So we have to have sub-aqua divers going 3 tiers to 3 tiers. So there aren't very many sub-aqua divers. But 2 weeks' time we'll have open again. It's very safe for exercise.
And down here. My favorite memory. Well, I don't know if I could share that one with you, but that question. Well, I was in the library once reading an engineering textbook and had a eureka moment. I think I meant what I said when the image that sits in my mind is my first walking through Front Arch, because I hadn't kind of expected it. I came through Front Arch thinking I was entering a building, and I walked through out into Front Square, and I thought, my God, this is a beautiful place. And that memory's always stuck with me. But But I actually quite enjoyed my course as well, I have to say. So in my final year of engineering, and it's the same for every student in Trinity, you can do a final year project. It's a kind of independent piece of work that you do yourself. And I quite enjoyed that because we felt we were really doing research and coming up with some original ideas about what I was working on at the time, and very close collaboration with my professor at the time. I think that's a very good memory for me. It's great to see you all here and all that are watching online as well. We know that you've had a tough time getting through the Leaving Cert and all of the ups and downs of that. But you're here now, you're in Trinity. We're going to manage the thing as best we can over the next couple of months so that your learning goes well and you have every opportunity that students have always had when they came to this university. So best of luck.